it looks like we are going to be getting this Steve, in fact. I like to see ShinyMark coming out with the hand warmers as well, just sort of prepping himself, going in with the proper headspace as well as the right feeling in his hands going into this set against Syrup. And pretty quickly, we do see the blocks coming out from Syrup. ShinyMark utilizing the T-Jolts from Pikachu in order to try to get something started, try to put a little bit of damage onto these blocks and separate the distance between himself. The fair is coming out and now going off stage in order to try to get a little bit more off of Syrup. Coming back with the Elytra, Syrup going to be putting up some more blocks and instead finding himself off stage. The T-Jolt coming out, a little bit of a dog block. Instead, it is ShinyMark who is able to reverse the situation, finding himself off stage and with a little bit of damage on the board already for Syrup.
Yeah, slowly but surely, again, it looks like both players are comfortable kind of keeping their own space, honestly. ShinyMark not really going to force a way of entry here as Syrup takes his time farming all these materials, finally getting Diamond, trying to wall out ShinyMark. However, though, still sticking through it. Very nice up special there on stage. Loving the approach here. Again, ShinyMark just trying to make waves here, trying to get some sort of momentum. T-Jolt just being sent through. Nothing too crazy happening right now as we're kind of at a stalemate and just even percentages here.
Absolutely. And coming back off stage, those fairs going to be coming out from ShinyMark as he was trying to get something off of Syrup. Going to come right back to the other side of the stage. Some more T-Jolts coming out as Syrup has to pause and sit and shield when they come out over his walls of blocks. I do like that ShinyMark doesn't really seem to be approaching Syrup all that much, especially when he has T-Jolts in his disposal. Syrup, now having Diamond tools, has a little bit of something against ShinyMark in those close-up situations, so that's why it looks exactly for situations like that, getting a back air and then able to take the stock from ShinyMark.
Yeah, so this is now the time for ShinyMark to step things up. However, Syrup is going to take full advantage of the stock as much as possible, holding down the fort at 132% with an extra diamond to spare here. Not looking too good, and ShinyMark not able to shut down this stock either with a dash attack. A little bit of a weak spot there as we saw the kill spark, but again, it's not going to do it just yet. However, that trade will do it there for ShinyMark.
Yep, no full rage on the board anymore for Syrup, opting to sit and shield against the fairs, and now he's going to be sent off stage a little bit by ShinyMark. The T-Jolt's coming out yet again, coming right back down to this upper platform. He is opting to sit and just go for the T-Jolts yet again, trying to interrupt some of Syrup's movement while also slowly closing the distance between the two of them. But it is going to be the Anvil to take yet another stock from ShinyMark.
Yeah, this is some tough positioning here for ShinyMark, really not being able to find these entry waypoints or approach correctly here because a lot of it's being shut down by Syrup. I mean, we've got so many tools at hand. You've got the minecart, you've got the tools in general that do so much damage, the Anvil let alone. However, we're going to see ShinyMark trying to go for another approach to go around the stage. Hopefully that works in his favor as we see hopefully a glimmer of some approach, but to no avail as we get another diamond back air, 2 diamond back airs there. Again, it's just not looking good right now for ShinyMark.
No, unfortunately, he has to fight through all of these walls in order to get a chance at approaching Syrup, and unfortunately going to go, oh, okay, good air dodge into this upper platform, able to avoid yet another back air from Syrup. Going to come back in with the diamond tools and into the minecart yet again, and not getting hit with the anvil either. Finding the block and then getting rushed off stage by Syrup yet again. Going to opt to go right back to the other side, but trying to mix up his recovery as well, trying to give Syrup a chance to guess, not going to let anything easy happen. Big clank coming out from the minecart, and then that fair not going to take the stock yet for ShinyMark. Syrup able to use the Elytra in order to recover. No minecart just yet, but it doesn't even matter. That is going to be a 2 stock for Syrup, taking game number 1.
Very dominant game 1 we saw coming from Syrup there to lead the way for our sets to get things started off for us. And ShinyMark just kind of being shut down, like quite literally. We saw a lot of blocks being built there for Syrup, and that really gives him the momentum to build here. So as much as I thought it would benefit ShinyMark because of all that space and how much time he usually is and is patient, it's not really working out. You kind of have to step the gas just a little bit here. Gotta really face forward to Syrup again, or he's going to get away with this lead, and it's just not going to be good for ShinyMark here.
Yeah, unfortunately, he did mash out of that minecart, and then Syrup able to put a little bit of damage onto him. It seems to be that Syrup seems to keep tracking him into the minecarts, and then at the point that ShinyMark successfully mashes out, Syrup is just able to punish him pretty effectively. He keeps getting his timing correctly. Alrighty, ShinyMark going to be sending Syrup off to the other side of the stage. The Elytra coming in for Syrup as he is able to recover under this biplat. The minecart coming out yet again. Syrup going to be waiting for it, but it doesn't matter. ShinyMark still losing the stock thanks to Syrup. Alrighty, coming back to center of the stage, going to this upper left biplat. Syrup coming out still with the wooden tools and on 3 stocks, so to say. The minecart coming out yet again, and then as he mashes up, here comes the ladder combo, followed up with a back air from Syrup over the wall, over the blocks, and now Syrup has ShinyMark has Syrup in disadvantage. Coming off to this other side of the stage through the biplats. ShinyMark trying to go for something more aggressive as he's further sending Syrup off, going to get the DI from away from the fair instead, and now Syrup has a chance at an edge guard.
Yeah, a little bit of that edge guarding situation from ShinyMark, and again, as we see that time and time again, that was a beautiful play from ShinyMark there, being able to be a little more aggro off stage, and that's what we're gonna want to see to really pivot this moment for ShinyMark, being able to be more aggro and a bit more fearless off stage. But again, Syrup has just gotten too comfortable on the stage here. ShinyMark has already given him that grounded, situation, almost that failsafe. So he really has to challenge Syrup in this moment here to change things around. But unfortunately, that down B is not going to land. Again, we're just kind of struggling to see a bit more from ShinyMark here. Slowly but surely, this percentage is adding up. It's all going to matter at some point, as again, both players are on their second stocks. This is still possible for either or player, and ShinyMark really going to take his time here to break down Syrup, sending those T-Jolts, kind of setting the position here, slowly going to chip away, but again, too close for comfort. Back air is going to take it for Syrup.
It wasn't just the back air, it was the anvil as a tool of misdirection. It was ShinyMark who knew that the anvil was coming out, but then not anticipating the back air as he jumped in order to avoid the anvil. Coming right back to the center of the stage, we got a little bit of a dog walk, or rather a mouse walk, coming out from Syrup, going for the ladder combo as well, putting some damage onto ShinyMark, who is on his final stock, I'd like to add. Minecart coming out as under this upper platform. ShinyMark going to be trying to come in with a bit of a down tilt as well. Now coming in with the fair out of the shield. Syrup finding himself pretty high away in disadvantage. The anvil going to put some damage on the board, but not enough to take the stock just yet.
Yeah, if you're Syrup right now, this is perfect positioning for you. Still got those 2 stocks to hang on and an F smash. So close to take it, but not just yet. The DI will keep ShinyMark alive. However, the missed up smash. The second up smash, not still taking it, bro. This is quite a stock ShinyMark is going to cling to and hopefully make a play of. But again, it's just so tough when Syrup has this momentum, so many materials, and again, the extra gold and diamond. He's really set up. He's too comfortable right now. ShinyMark getting desperate for it. And unfortunately, dying there too as well. That poor mouse just got squished.
Oh no. I didn't initially think, because of the knockback of the blocks, that was going to be what the stock was, but at such a high percentage, it makes sense that Syrup was able to take that stock over ShinyMark, a 2 stock, may I add, as well. So yet another definitive win for Syrup over ShinyMark. Going into this game number 3, there are going to be so many adaptations that ShinyMark is going to need to be able to pull it back. Cal, what do you hope to see from ShinyMark?
I hope to see more aggression and more of the gas being pressed here from ShinyMark. It is so possible for him to do that, as we've seen it time and time again, and the wins that he's gotten, it's just, he's getting sandwiched and misdirected so many times from the Steve, as we've seen time and time again against, some top players all the time that fall to the Steve agenda pretty much. So this is going to be a tough battle right now for ShinyMark, but I really, if we can see that, the more aggression and pressure being added on, and especially with the spacing and positioning, it'll definitely benefit him a lot here against Syrup. Has already gotten comfortable though on the stage, being grounded.
Absolutely, trying to go for the up tilt, and it is actually going to be Syrup's up tilt instead. Now we have the Magma Block into the up smash. That is going to be a pretty quick stock for Syrup on the board. ShinyMark going to be breaking down those walls pretty quickly, and instead finding himself hit by the minecart. Not going to get trapped by it. Off stage yet again, able to sort of try to stall it out, but it is going to be this giant block. Not going to get the Magma from the down smash, sending Syrup back and actually going to chase him to the other side of the stage. Here is some of the aggressiveness that you mentioned. The Lightning Bolt not able to take the stock just yet from Syrup, however, and we are back to T-Jolt over the wall.
Yeah, it's going to be the safe option here for ShinyMark, but even the tool's not able to send ShinyMark down just yet. The Dare Spike not going to see there for Syrup. I believe that was the first spike,
that
actually,
was Syrup.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to see ShinyMark struggle just a little bit, getting on to this stage a little more comfortable, a little desperate as well to really find this first stock off of Syrup here. Again, not really having to work too hard for it. We've got a lot of things to our disposal here. Again, ShinyMark is really the one that's going to have to make that wave really come through here and hopefully put an end to this first stock. But again, Syrup just getting away with so much here.
Syrup just having some time to sit and mine, not going to get, oh yes, but that was it. That was the stock for ShinyMark, thanks to that dash attack, and not going to get the stock just yet for Syrup. ShinyMark able to recover underneath the biplat. The minecart coming out, not going to trip up ShinyMark this time though. Syrup going to continue to mine through the blocks. More T-Jolts coming out from ShinyMark as he sits in the other side. The Nair into the fair, going to be sending in Syrup off stage, preemptively putting out some blocks in order to protect himself against these aerials, but it is going to be the anvil from Syrup coming out to take yet another stock off of ShinyMark.
This is looking so brutal right now for ShinyMark. This is do or die, quite literally. Last stock, game 3. ShinyMark needs to turn up the heat right now, get something going, or else Syrup will take this. We're seeing the wall situation, but the diamond forward smash almost taking ShinyMark's last stock at 70%. What an entryway back to stage to barely make it back with that up B recovery. And again, almost getting squished by the anvil. That shield is so small. ShinyMark has to play his heart out here with his second stock. He still needs to take him off Syrup here.
Absolutely finding himself on the other side of the stage. ShinyMark not wanting to cede any space at all, but it is Syrup who has so many resources on the board, sending out the minecart off stage. ShinyMark gonna wait for a little bit and actually going to get the stock off of Syrup at 114%. He has to play a perfect stock in order to get this game on the board for himself. Sitting on the other side with the T-Jolts as well, going to come right back down with the anvil. It is not enough to take ShinyMark's stock just yet. Another anvil, and instead it is going to be the minecart to seal out this game for Syrup in 3-0 over ShinyMark.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for ShinyMark. Just could not make it work, could not roll the dice and really get what he was looking for. We saw that he was clinging so much on that game 3 there, but Syrup really bringing the house down with this Steve. It's just so strong, so formidable. The mine carts and everything coming out to play, the up tilt and up smash, really playing Steve to a T. And then you know what? That's just how you know you're doing something right. When people start hating on your character, that's how you know you're doing something right.
No, absolutely. And I really do think that the way that Syrup was really able to prolong those advantages was because at any point that ShinyMark tried to interact with him, it was really Syrup who had the upper hand because he had all of the time in the world in order to mine, in order to build up his resources. He had diamond tools, he had gold at just about any point in the game. And then Syrup trying to, or rather ShinyMark really, anytime that he had Syrup off stage, even in those like edge guard scenarios against Syrup, he really wasn't able to get anything going for himself because Syrup had so much time to protect himself. You saw him putting off blocks off stage in